G'day guys, it's Corin Zenith here again. Again, we have a home brew from my mate Vic over at 17brew.com who kindly sent me this brew. Man, what can I say? Truly blessed that people would actually send me their home brews for me to try. I just think that's amazing. Anyway, this one here is it's called the Double Fisted Bitter Blonde IPA. Was bottled the 25th of last month. Now this one is a combination of a couple of kits. It's a 1.7 kilo Walls Bitter with a 1.7 kilo Walls Blonde. He also has some crystal grain that's been steeped for 20 minutes, 150 grams of it, and there is 514 yeast that he used in that. Yeah, so some of the hops that they use in the Walls tins are a bit of a secret, so you don't get to know exactly the kind of hops that went in there. But if this is anything like the other beer that I tried of his, the Australian Old, this is going to be fantastic. And you might not be able to see it on the screen here, but this is cleared extremely well, and I'm really looking forward to this. So let's give it a crack. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Alright. Give it a smell first. You can smell the blonde. You can really smell the blonde in that. Yeah, you can really, there's no real powerful hop type of aroma that you get. You get a really, you do get, no, hang on, you do get a slight, very slight citrus and floral type of aroma. Let's give it a crack. Thank you, Vic. Wow. Oh, where do I start? Wow, Vic, I reckon you are onto a winner here. If you use this as a base recipe, and I think you might have mentioned this before to me, and added, you know, add a succession, like add a bunch of different hops to the boil using this basic sort of recipe. You could come up with an absolute amazing IPA. In terms of hop characteristics as it's going down, not a classic IPA in terms of the sense of you're not feeling a layered effect of hops. You're not getting a lot of hops sort of smacking you in the mouth and the face, but you get a refreshing sense of bitterness. Now you can taste the bitter part of the kit in there. It's hard to explain. It's like man, it is really refreshing. I'll have another try. It reminds me of a Cooper's Sparkling Ale, only because it's got that higher carbonation, and it's quite light, and it's really refreshing. But that bitterness is there, and the bitterness, funnily enough, it doesn't hit you straight away, but as it goes down the gullet and you start smacking your lips, you actually, it just sort of almost like sneaks up on you, and you're like, boom, there it is, and it's really quite nice. Vic knows this. I'm not a huge bitter beer drinker. I don't like bitter beers just for the sake of being bitter. I like beers to be well-rounded. I like them to be layered. I like them to tell a story. This is really nice. The bitterness is there, but it's funny. There is a layered effect to the bitterness. As I said, it starts off smooth, then it's bitter, and then it starts to sort of ease off. This is one of the man. And I tell you what, I could imagine Vic doing this even as it is. With no extra sort of hops in a boil or anything like that, or a side boil. But I can imagine this being an amazing summer beer. An amazing summer beer. This um, heavily commercialised Australian, or I should say, not really Australian anymore, Victorian bitter beer, which is enjoyed by a lot of Australians. Very commercial beer. This tastes 50 times better than that. This as a bitter blonde, um, perfect balance. It's got the real light sort of effect, very light malt, easy going down, not a lot of boldness and malt character from the blonde, but with the added bitterness from the bitter can that he used. Um, pardon me. Is it's a perfect combination for a summer sessional beer. This is a 5.7 ABV as well, so it's the highest out of the two that he made. Um, oh man, let's have another taste. That time, as it was going down, I did sense a little bit of hop character in it. Not a lot, but it's there nonetheless. This is a beautiful beer, mate. Vic, congratulations on this one. It's a very nice sessional beer that has the this whole double fisted sort of thing that we're doing. Adding two different types of styles together. It's a great way to go, just to experiment and see what you come up with. But you really hit a winner here. I don't know if you had done this before and tried it, but you really hit a winner. This is a sessional beer. You can enjoy this really any time of year, but I could imagine this being a real crowd pleaser in summer. I wish I had more words to say, Vic. Seriously, this is an amazing beer. You wanted me to be honest, I'm being honest. Obviously, it doesn't have huge head retention. I think some of that's also got to do with with the real high carbonation. But it's a beautiful tasting beer, and this rivals any, if not all, of the commercial bitters out there in Australia. I'm not just saying that. I honestly mean that. Honestly mean that, Vic. Beautiful beer. Yeah, there's some floral. There's a little bit of citrus and some floral undertones there as it's going down. The bitterness is really pleasant. I know I'm going on about it, but I'm not a bitter drinker. I mean, I'm not a bitter beer guy, but this has a late effect. And if this is how it is, with hardly any hop additions in a boil or a side boil, if you're using tins, and I can only imagine what this would be like with some Citra and some more Cascade and maybe some Chinhook and Centennial and all the a whole bunch of other stuff, man. Vic, if you want to make an IPA out of this, like with more hop additions, seriously, do it, mate, and send me one. I'd be happy to share it with everyone. I mean, gosh, this is really nice. Yeah. If I had a couple of these sitting in an esky in the backyard while I had a barbecue on, you know, I like to share, mate, but I probably wouldn't share any of them with anyone. I'd keep them to myself. Um, as a standard beer to have on a hot day, beautiful. But as a base recipe to add more hops, this is perfect. Awesome stuff, mate. Thank you very much for blessing me and sending this to me. It's an amazing privilege to share people's home brews with other people all around the world. Thank you so much, Vic. Thank you. Cheers.